everybody has his own goals in life and his own way of living, and my way has always been evolving. I wanted to evolve as a person, I wanted to evolve mentally, I wanted to evolve physically, so everything should lead me somewhere. The first time I fought MMA was actually to learn something about me, to find out what would you do if you're in an extreme situation like this. And it taught me so much about the person I am and the person that I can be, that I just had the feeling that I had to stick to it.
What's going on here, man?
Nothing big.
Always friendly sparring.
That's what it's all about, right?
It's supposed to be friendly sparring.
When I finish fighting, I want to be able to say I did something for the sport. I did something to make people realize that this sport is beautiful, it's a technical sport, and it's not just a couple of stupid dudes trying to smash each other's heads in. So. I actually do have a background in judo, which was my very first contact with combat sports in general. And as a lot of fighters in my generation, I started a little bit classy with a classic martial art, and it taught me a lot. It actually was the first sport I didn't really suck at, and I tried soccer and basketball, and I was pretty bad at everything else, but once my feet touched the mat I felt something changed. Yeah, and that's why I stuck to it and made judo for a good 7-8 years, and yeah, then I kind of got injured and kind of got out of it, and then I came back, and my first MMA fight was around the age of 23. So pretty late. I didn't even know that it was called MMA back at that time. I just heard about the tournament that was happening, and I didn't even have a trainer that knew what it was. I just, took my judo and took a little Thai boxing and put it all together and tried to win the fight, and it actually happened. And before I went to the tournament, I asked my mom if it was okay for me to go. And she was like, what you want to do? She was really surprised, and I told her, okay, we do it like this. If I win the tournament, I'll quit. I'm never going to do it again. And then I won the tournament, and I came back and was like, this is so good, I have to do it again. So I bought her a big bouquet of flowers and went to her house after everything was healed up, and said, oh, this is too nice for me, I have to do it again. And she was like, okay, if you love it, then you have to do it. And that's how I got into MMA.
Set up some takedowns and drains. What are you doing, getting high?
Yeah, man. You gotta try this at home. I know everybody keeps saying, don't try this at home. Do it, man. Try this at home. It's fun.
Feels good.
There's not blood, there's not brain actually coming out. I don't know. And when I was a boy, I always had that dream, oh, I wanted to be an athlete one day, but I was always the one getting picked last in school, in physical education, and so it didn't really seem likely to happen, but then I kind of found a way, and it was even a way that nobody else went before me. In Germany, where I started my career, nobody else did what I did before me. So I had the chance to be a pioneer. I had the chance to do something that has never been done before, at least from a guy from my background. So there was a couple of aspects that really brought my attention to the sport. And when I first started it, I was still in university, and everybody was like, "Oh, how can you do that? It's so brutal, and it's a cruel sport, and everybody that does stuff like that is dumb." And I felt there's a lot of things to teach, and I felt that I'd probably be a good ambassador for the sport, and the sport gave me so much, so I wanted to give something back. And this is like the topic of my career. When I finish fighting, I want to be able to say I did something for the sport. For me personally, martial arts helped me becoming a better person. I can say that. It's also pretty obvious for everybody that knows me since I was a kid. It's like martial arts gave me self-confidence. It gave me the kind of personality it takes for others to look up to you, and that's a huge gift. I look at people from a different perspective. So when I see young people walking into the gym, or old people walking into the gym for the first time and experiencing especially the ground part of the game, the jiu-jitsu grappling aspect, they get beat up by a smaller guy, or maybe a buff, big 30-year-old gets pushed around by a 14-year-old just because his technique is better. And you see the changing in their movement, in their face. You see something is working in their mind, and they realize my size doesn't help me a bit if I don't know the technique. And this is humbling, and it teaches you so much about life in general. And if there's something I can tell somebody that I learned from martial arts, is you should respect everybody, and you can learn from everybody. It doesn't matter if the guy walks into the gym for the first time in his life, you can still learn something from him. It's your goal, it's up to you to find out what it is. What can you learn from that guy? And if you have that approach, I think your opportunities are endless. I started out unbeaten, 5-0. Everybody was like, "Oh, this guy's the next big thing," and it kind of got into my head. People be like, "Oh, he will never lose. He's so good at this, nobody can beat him." And it kind of got into my head. And then in my 6th fight, I tore my ACL, and I was pretty much just laying on my back for 3 rounds, and I lost. And it kind of changed everything inside me. So I didn't define myself by thinking, "Oh, I'm undefeated." That doesn't really mean anything. If you're undefeated, just means that you didn't have that kind of competition yet, because there's guys out there that I can beat like 99 out of 100 times, but when they meet me at a bad day or they have their best day in their life, they probably beat me. This is MMA. This is not a chess match. Anything can happen. One punch can end it all. You can slip and fall and the guy lands on top of you, especially in heavyweight. Anything can happen. So that's one of the reasons why I think that MMA is such a great sport, because you never know what you're gonna get. You can be Anderson Silva and somebody's walking into the cage with you and everybody's like, this guy has no chance, and suddenly you lose. And then everybody's be like, oh, that was just an incident, it's not gonna happen again, and then you lose again. That's just the way the sport goes, and that's one of the reasons I love it so much. You never know what you're gonna get. Also as a fighter, you never know what you're gonna get. That's why I hate when people be like, oh, the next guy you're gonna have him is gonna be an easy fight. There's never an easy fight, because I'm never fighting my opponent, I'm always fighting myself. I always know that when I'm walking out there doing my thing, giving my best, that I will win. No matter what the judges think or the fans think or my opponent thinks, if I do my best, then I'm a winner. And I think that's a good approach to have. And I hope it will lead me further. In 2009 I finished university and I actually worked on my PhD, and I thought, okay, let's do it 50-50. Let's take 50% of your time and energy and put it into your PhD, and 50% of your time and energy and put it into MMA. And I realized pretty quick that 50% is just not enough. I said, okay, let's do this 100%. Let's just give it a shot. You can do your PhD when you're 40. You can't be a professional MMA fighter at your beginning state of your career with 40. So yeah, I gave it a shot and I never regretted it. It was pretty hard making money at first, so I had to do some other jobs first, and when I decided to just do MMA, I also had to move into the gym, sell my car, everything just to be able to train full-time. And everyone was like, you're an educated guy, why are you doing this to yourself? And I keep telling people, my life is not about money. I don't know about your life, but I don't define myself on about what's on my bank account. I don't need that stuff. I can't take it with me. And I think also when I think about family, am I a better dad when I give my son or daughter money, or am I a better dad when I'm satisfied with what I did in my life and I can pass on some true knowledge, some true wisdom that I actually collected by following my own way of life? Stuff like that doesn't make you happy. That's why I said I sold my car to actually go travel the world and train with good people, and to take something with me that nobody can take away from me. Stuff can happen and you have to sell your car and you have to sell your house or whatever. But there's stuff that nobody can take away from you. And nobody can take away my belt in jiu-jitsu, and nobody can take away the moves I learned, and nobody can take away the things I've seen. I can lose the photos of the places I've been, but I don't need photos. I got it all in my head, I got it all in my heart. And I think that's, if you want to be rich, go out, explore the world, see something, meet new people, open up your mind. You're not gonna be rich just by money on your bank account. You need to spend that money for a good thing. Make other people happy and make yourself happy. this is to define what's happiness is pretty hard, because it can be anything. It can be just opening up my eyes in the morning and seeing my wife next to me. Happiness can be sitting back and thinking about the things I did and the things I saw. And I think that happiness is not possible if you never experience dark days. If you had some dark days in your life, and you know how it is to suffer, then you actually are able to be happy. If you never suffered in your life, if you never had some bad days, then you're probably never gonna be happy. And that's when I talk to people about my childhood, they'd be like, oh, you had a bad childhood, I wish that this would happen to nobody. And I don't think that's right. I think that actually enables me to be a happy person, because we didn't have much money back in the days and ate pretty much crap for half the month because there were no money. And today, every single time I go out and drink a juice or tea somewhere in a restaurant, that's something special to me. Every time I'm able to tell my friend, hey, you know what, you're invited. That's something special to me, because it was unthinkable when I was younger. And now, what even improves that for me is I know I can do it because I do something I love. So I earn enough money to do things that I love, and I'm able to appreciate it. I think that's a big thing of being a lucky person, a happy person. And of course, if you're in balance with yourself, and if you're happy with the decisions you make, and that's up to everybody. Everybody is the master of his own decisions, and there's never too late to do the right thing. So there's one Zen master, and he tells his student, after he got asked, what is the secret of being happy? And what's the secret of a good life? So the Zen master says, make one person happy a day. And after a small pause, he says, even if that's you. And after another small pause, he says, especially if it's you. And I think that it gives me goosebumps right now, because I think it's so true. That's the way life is. You can't help anybody if you're not happy. If you're not in balance, there's no way you can help others to get their balance. If you don't love yourself and you're not satisfied with what you're doing, then there's no way you're gonna be able to love anybody else, or to be able to accept somebody else if you're not accepting yourself. And I think martial arts is a great way to learn that, because you go on the mat and you meet people, and everybody knows, after training, everybody knows, okay, I'm here, the other guy is there, maybe he's better, maybe I'm better, but it's cool for everybody. You go to training camps and there's like 15, 20, 25 guys from all over the world. Some people, you don't even speak the language. You can't communicate others than just, with your body, the body language. So we speak one universal language, we compete, everybody knows where he stands, and nobody cares of course you care, but you don't mind if somebody is better than you or not. You just know, okay, he's better than me, because you just experienced it on the mat. But you go from the mat to the kitchen or the restaurant or whatever, and everybody's cool. I never, in 10 years of martial arts, I never experienced anything bad happening in a training camp. And that's because everybody knows where he's at, everybody knows that everybody's there because of the same reasons, everybody wants to learn. And that's why I love it so much. What people see in fights, this is just like so much of what we actually do. The training every day, getting up, knowing, oh, I'm sore, I don't want to train, but still doing it. And after training thinking, I'm so glad I did it. This is so much of what I do every day, and nobody sees that. And everybody's like, oh yeah, you own a lot of money for like 2 minutes of work because you knocked out the guy in the first round. Yeah, that's what you think. That's not the work. That's the fun part. The work has happened earlier, and still, I would never trade my job for anything else. Of course, there are some downsides, but this is life. Either you win or you learn. That's the way I like to look at it. I can do anything I want to. I can travel, I can train with people all around the world, see new places, meet new friends and training partners, and that's all I want, that's all I need. I don't need anything more. I went from big cars to small cars, but from being restless and don't know where to go to being one of the happiest person on this planet. So what else you have to ask for?